What's good, y'all? It's that boy, Easy Millions, and I'm your host of that boy, ETV. You already know, man, we are back on Marvel Rivals, and as you can see in the background, we're doing another character breakdown, and this time it's for that boy, Hulk, baby. So let's get right into this. And again, we're talking about Hulk, who is a Vanguard with a difficulty of 4 out of 5. A base health pool of 650, and a movement speed of 6 meters a second, man. Now, Hulk has been buffed since the beta version of Marvel Rivals, and he currently has one of the best shields in the entire game. Unfortunately, he has a lot of weaknesses, including often reverting to Bruce and losing matches immediately. His ultimate can also leave him vulnerable after use. However, despite these drawbacks, Hulk is one of the most mobile heroes in the entire game, and his CC and AoE shields have no equal. Moreover, his reward precise aim, so if you have experience, don't hesitate to give him a try. Unfortunately, he's difficult to master, so if you're a beginner, we recommend giving a chance to other heroes first, man. So the first thing I'm going to say about Hulk is this. He is known as one of like the better characters, like you'll see him a lot in high level competition, but he is getting banned now. Now, why is Hulk being banned? Is he being banned because he's just that OP of a character, or is he being banned due to his team up? As from what I'm understanding, it's more based off the team up and not him specifically. But when it comes to Hulk, this is going to be your dive tank. He is pretty good at it, but again, I think he's just not my cup of tea. But for you guys, depending on how you want to play dive, this might be really good for you. He is good at getting in, getting a quick kill, and getting out properly. You just have to make sure you're keeping your cooldowns in check, and that you know what abilities you have. And again, I think you just need to be a lot better with your jump-ins with him, essentially, because you need to be able to jump in, get your kill pretty quickly, put your shields on so to make sure they don't kill you as you're trying to get away, and then you're going to kind of jump back out of there, man. But the first thing we need to talk about with Hulk is going to be the fact that, yes, he does have 3 actual stages. The first one is actually going to be Bruce Banner here, and Bruce Banner is going to have a base health of 200, and then from Bruce Banner, you will transform into Hero Hulk, who we talked about earlier, who will have a base health of 650, and then after that, you will turn into Berserker Hulk or World Breaker Hulk. In this Hulk version, you will have a base health of 1400, man. So I wanted to make sure that you know that when you hit the ultimate button, you will use that to transform, and you can and you will have this pretty much when you're Bruce Banner. You will get the transformation pretty quickly to get back into the Hulk, and you just got to make sure you're staying alive while you're Bruce Banner. Now, speaking of Bruce Banner, let's go ahead and start getting into some of these abilities here. And the first ones we're talking about will be for Bruce Banner, and those will be called. The first one is Gamma Ray Gun, and with this, you fire a Gamma Ray Gun. This is a single cast projectile with a delayed impact. The projectile speed is 80 meters a second. The damage is 16. The fire rate is 5 rounds per second, and the ammo count is going to be 25, man. And there is a critical hit on this, man. Now, when you're Bruce Banner and you're using this Gamma Ray Gun, it's going to take around 18 body shots for your base 275, 250 heroes. So that's a lot. And when it comes to headshots, it'll take 9 consecutive headshots in order to take down your 275, 250 heroes, man. Now, the thing about when you're Bruce Banner, in my opinion, you want to really stay out the fight. And with this gun here, it's more about just peppering damage than actually getting kills with it, because it's pretty weak. Like I said, needing almost 18 shots to kill somebody with this is just ridiculous, especially when people are moving around and all kind of craziness. So for the most part, when you're using this, you're not going to really be trying to be in the fight that much. You're just more just trying to pepper them to hurry up and get your ult back up, man. That's basically what this is going to be for. Now, when the other ability you have as Bruce Banner is going to be called Gamma Grenade. And with this, you launch a Gamma Grenade to inflict damage and launch up enemies, man. This is a single cast projectile with a downward delay that creates a spell field upon impact. The damage will be 40. The range is a 3 meter spherical radius. The cooldown is 8 seconds. And special effect, when the caster enters the spell field, it restores 50 gamma energy, man. So as you can see here, when you throw this grenade, it will launch up your enemies And quick side note here, if you throw it at your own feet, you will also launch up as well. So this is another way for you to kind of get away, or this is basically like his movement ability as Bruce Banner's, is throw it at your feet. Now, I wasn't aware of the special effect here, but if you throw the grenade on yourself, it does actually help you get your gamma radiation up, which will allow you to get back into Hero Hulk faster. So remember, guys, when you're using your grenade, you're probably going to throw it at your feet so that you can go ahead and restore that gamma energy so you can go ahead and get back into the Hero Hulk form as quickly as possible. Because right now, if you're just playing the Bruce Banner, or if you're a Bruce Banner main, you're probably out there selling, man. Just being honest. So just being honest. Now, we're going to get into Hulk's main abilities here, and the way we're going to do this, I'm going to list the ability first, and I'm going to talk about it in hero form, and then I'm going to talk about it in the ultimate form. Alright, so the first ability here we're going to talk about is going to be called Heavy Blow, and with this, you swing fist forward to punch enemies. This is a single cast spell field. The damage will be 40, the range will be a 4.5 meters, and the attack interval is 0.467 seconds, man. Now, as you can see, as Hulk here, your primary attack is going to be him punching, and as your hero version, it'll take 7 punches in order to go ahead and kill your base 75 to 250 heroes, man. Now, his normal attack here for a melee, in my opinion, has been one of the more satisfying ones that I've played so far as it goes, where the attack interval and how quickly you put somebody down with your base attack. So I do believe that Hulk is probably one of the better melees in the game. Now, in your World Breaker form, when you do this attack here, it'll only take you 4 hits in order to go ahead and kill your base 275 to 250 heroes. Also, when you're using this in the thing, this will be a single cast projectile. The damage will be increased to 70. The range will be at 5 meters, and the attack interval is increased to 0.52 seconds, man. So as you can see there, you do get increased damage and increased attack interval, but also it's actually a slower attack interval, but you do more damage. The other thing here is you will pop up enemies as you're doing this. So again, this is another way to crowd control, because as you hit people, they will pop up in the air and fly off. So again, it's not just a straight 4 hits when you're attacking with the Super Hulk. So again, just be aware of that. It will pop them up in the air, so you're gonna have to kind of chase them afterwards in order to go ahead and finish that. But for the most part, you're using this more as crowd control, as you'll slap people off the point or just slap people out of the area so that your team can go ahead and take that space, or like I said, go ahead and take over the point, man. Now, the next ability we talk about is gonna be called Gamma Burst, and with this, you emit gamma ray burst to inflict damage. This is a single cast projectile that can pierce through enemies. The projectile speed will be 80 meters a second. The damage will be 70, and the cooldown is 8 seconds, man. Now, as you can see, when you are Hero Hulk, you will go ahead and slap your hands together, emitting out a gamma wave or a gamma burst. This right here is just good to go ahead and finish off kills. If they're low health, you want to go ahead and finish off the kill there. Or if you just want to go ahead and use something with a little bit more range outside of your melee, then you are going to want to go ahead and use this in order to hit people from a distance. So again, it's mostly used, in my opinion, to finish off kills, and it is your ranged attack. So you could use this like if you're walking up, you could shoot this at them real fast to go ahead and get them to try to leave you alone for a second, but that's essentially what it does. Now, when you are in World Breaker Hulk, the Gamma Burst is still a single cast projectile that pierces through enemies. The projectile speed increases to 60 meters a second. The damage increases to 125, and the cooldown is reduced to only 1 second, man. Now, as you can see, when you're in World Breaker form, this Gamma Burst becomes way stronger, and you get it way faster. So you want to constantly be using this over your melee, unless you just want to kind of knock people off the point, as this does way more damage. You get it way faster, and it goes at a distance, so you don't have to be right up on them. So again, you'll probably want to do this burst over the melee, but if you do want to do crowd control, you do want to melee them off the point and then probably hit them with a burst after you've done that. Now, let's go into the next ability, which would be called Incredible Leap. And with this, you hold the jump button to perform a charge leap that allows Hero Hulk to knock a flying enemy to the ground. This is a charge dash. The minimum charge time will be 0.7 seconds. The maximum charge time will be 2 seconds. The speed at minimum charge time is 19 meters a second. The speed at maximum charge time will be 25 meters a second. And the special effect is you press the jump bar during the incredible leap to cling to a wall that you encounter, man. So as you can see, when you're using this is just going to be your basic movement tool here. This is going to be your way to get into fights and your way to get out of fights. So just make sure you're doing this. Now, when you are charging, after you let go of the leap, you can actually start charging it before you land. So I want you to be aware of that. This way you know that you don't have to actually wait. Also, while you're running around, you can actually charge it and just hold the button and continue to fight people. If you're able, if your hand-eye coordination is that great, you'll be able to do that as well. Have it fully charged so when you are ready to jump out, you can already just go ahead and get up out of there. Now, for the incredible leap for the Wall Breaker Hulk version, it is still a charge dash. The minimum charge time is still 0.7 seconds. The maximum charge time has been reduced to 0.5 seconds. The speed at minimum charge time has been increased to 19.4 meters a second. The speed at maximum charge time remains the same at 25 meters a second. And the special effect remains the same as if you hold the jump button during the leap, you can cling to a wall during your encounter, man. So as you can see, when you're in World Breaker Hulk form and you do this, basically it'll allow you to charge it up slightly faster. And when you do the minimum charge time, you actually get a little bit more out of it, so you don't have to charge it as long when you're in World Breaker form. But essentially it's the same move whether you're Hero form, Hero Hulk, or World Breaker Hulk. Just understand that the difference is when you do the minimum charge time, you get the most out of the minimum charge time while you're in World Breaker form, man. So just be aware of that. Now, the next ability we need to get to is going to be called Radioactive Lockdown. And with this, you emit gamma energy to irradiate enemies and render them immobile and immune to all ability effects. Using Heavy Blow or Gamma Burst will prematurely remove this status. This is a single cast projectile. The projectile speed will be 100 meters a second. The damage will be 5. The cooldown is 15 seconds. The max duration will be 2 seconds. And the special effect is Heavy Blow and Gamma Burst can detect and damage irradiated enemies and prematurely remove statuses, man. So as you can see with this button here, when you use it, if any enemy that is hit with this lockdown, when you hit them, you will leave them immobile for a period of time. Not only are they immobile, they are immune to all abilities, so they can't be hit or hurt by anybody while they're doing this. This is more meant to just keep someone in place. Now, when you're using this ability here, you're going to want to use this to help you close the distance primarily. So as you jump in, let's say you jump in and then the person you jumped in with sees you coming, so they try to run off from you. You will then use this to lock them down in place and go ahead and close that distance. That is what I primarily find myself using it for. And even when I play against Hulks, this is usually what I see them using it for. As I'm trying to get away from them, they will stun you and then use that to go ahead and close the distance and get you killed. Now, another good use for this would be to just stun someone as they're trying to come up to the point. Let's say you're playing domination or a convoy and then someone's trying to run up to the point before overtime. You could stun them and then just stand there and kind of laugh at them. So that's another good use for it. But I primarily see other Hulks using it to close in space. And even when I was playing Hulk, I primarily used this to help me close in space. So basically, I feel like that's the best use for this, is going to be for you to close in space. Now, in World Breaker Hulk form, Radioactive Lockdown remains a single cast projectile. The projectile speed is actually increased to 150 meters a second. The damage remains the same at 5. The cooldown is significantly reduced to 5 seconds. The max duration remains the same at 2 seconds. And the special effect remains the same, as Heavy Blow and Gamma Burst can detect and damage irradiated enemies and prematurely remove the status. So when you're in World Breaker form and you use this ability, be aware that it moves a lot faster, so you're able to shoot it out and catch up to people a lot faster, and the cooldown is a lot shorter, man. So also when you're in World Breaker form, it seems as though to me you primarily want to use the stun and the burst. These are the abilities that help you get the most damage out, as you have to be close with the melee. Now, if you are close with the melee, again, you want to use that more in a crowd control sense than that to actually get kills, as you're going to want to probably use the Gamma Burst in order to get kills, and use the lockdown to lock them down, to keep them in place, to close distance, and then go ahead and slap them with your heavy blow and knock him off the point, man. That seems like that is really how that is supposed to be used. And again, when you're in World Breaker form, I feel like his abilities are where it at, and you need to take advantage of that as they have a lot lower cooldowns with a lot more damage. Now, the next ability we talk about is going to be called Indestructible Guard. And with this, you generate gamma shields for Hero Hulk and nearby allies, absorbing and converting damage to energy for Hulk Smash. Now, this is a single cast spell field that surrounds the caster. The range is a 5 meter spherical radius. The cooldown will be 12 seconds. The caster's shield value is 200. The ally shield value will be 100. The max shield duration will be 2.5 seconds. And the special effect is when the caster's shield takes damage, 100% of the damage is converted into gamma energy. When the allied shield takes damage, 10% of the damage is converted into gamma energy. So with this ability here, when you pop it, you will put a shield over yourself, and you will shield any allies within range of the 5 meter spherical radius and grant them shields as well. Now, this ability here is only used for Hero Hulk, so be aware of that. Only he can do this. Now, this ability is great, especially when you're in team fights, as when you pop this, you will not only give yourself shield, but you will give basically your teammates 100 free health to go ahead and continue doing what they're doing and help them stay alive. Now, this shield here is going to be used when you're jumping in, and you're going to jump in, pop this shield here to go ahead and absorb some of that extra damage real quick so that you don't have to take that initial damage. Or this shield is one of those things where you jump in, you start doing your damage first, and then you pop your shield to help you get out of there. Because sometimes you have to wait for your leap to charge, so you want your shield for that. Also, you can use your shield to just go ahead and help protect teammates. And when it comes to protecting teammates, a lot of times you can kind of protect them without really noticing, as you're just kind of like I found myself just kind of popping this as often as possible, just to provide as much shielding for myself and my teammates, especially when we're in the middle of team fights. So again, you want to make sure you're doing this, because this just allows you, not only you to stay alive longer, but also helps your teammates do the same, man. Now, the last ability that we need to talk about is going to be his ult, and that is going to be called Hulk Smash. And with this, you unleash stored gamma energy, transforming from Hero Hulk into Monster Hulk for a limited period of time. This is a transformation casting. The duration will be 12 seconds. The energy cost is 3,400. And the special effect is the caster is immobilized during the transformation process and gains invincibility. So as we all know, that Hero Hulk's ultimate basically just turns him into the World Breaker form. When you're in the World Breaker form, you will have all the additions that we talked about earlier as far as the abilities go. Most of the time, you will get increased damage with lower cooldowns. And when it comes to the melee, again, his melee is more of a CC ability now, instead of that of just laying down pure damage like you are used to with his hero form. So with this, you just want to go ahead and make sure you're popping this either to stay alive, or you're popping this at the right time to just go ahead and continue to be a menace to that team's backline. Like, you could be back there and almost die, and the next thing you know, you pop this. Now you got a whole 1,400 new health pool. You're out there causing damage. You're big as hell, and you're just being a huge menace. So again, this transformation is pretty good. It doesn't last too long, but it does actually, now, a lot of problems with this is just going to be the fact that people may pay attention to your timer and when you're going to come out of your form, okay? This way you're not coming out of it and you're stuck in the back lines, and then you just get melted afterwards, man, because that happens a lot. So just be careful of that. Now, the ultimate we need to talk about is going to be called World Breaker, and this is you grab and smash the enemy in front. This is a targeted casting. The damage is it delivers 5 hits, each dealing 40 damage. The duration will be 5 seconds. The range is 5 meters, and the special effect when performing the smash, Hulk gains a 30% damage reduction, man. Now, as you can see, when you are in World Breaker form here, if you hit ultimate again, you will grab your opponent and slam them on the ground, similar to what we saw in the Avengers with him and Loki, man. So this move here, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really see it killing too many people in game, but it is just funny to pull off, in my opinion. It does do decent damage, but again, I think you will get more out of Hulk if you're not wasting your time with this. If you're just doing the gamma burst, the radioactive lockdowns, and smacking people, I think you'll probably get more out of that than if you're actually, taking up part of your time doing this 5 seconds. Now, if you're at right before you're about to transform out of Hulk, I think you can probably attempt this and you'll stay in Hulk a little bit longer, and you'll get this damage off. But ultimately, if you had to really choose, I didn't really see the point in using this, as it doesn't really get kills like that. I think that using the Gamma Burst lockdown and his melee CC as World Breaker Hulk are just more effective in my opinion. But again, it is funny as hell to pull off. So, hey, be my guest and attempt this, man. Now, we got to talk about his team-ups, and he does have 2 of them. The first one's going to be called Gamma Fastball, and with this, Wolverine and Hulk can interact with each other. Once both parties confirm, Hulk can lift Wolverine and press the button to hurl him forward. This is a targeted cast. The maximum distance will be 20 meters, and the cooldown is 3 seconds when not thrown, and 15 seconds when thrown. So as you see with this team up here, we've all seen this here where Wolverine will jump into Hulk's hands, and Hulk will launch him forward, allowing him to get that Pharaoh rage thing going off. And this ability here is all right. I think it's more of a gimmick than anything else, as I've rarely seen this really pulled off outside of like clips and like Hulk's trying to be trolls. So again, when it comes to this team up specifically, I think it's on the bottom of the tier list. It doesn't really add too much to them, and it doesn't really add too much to the teammates like that, unless, I don't know, Wolverine's trying to get up to a high place. Maybe you could throw him up there. But, I mean, other than that, I really don't see the benefits of throwing your Wolverine into the enemy team, like into their back line, so he's there by himself at all. So, again, I think this is one on the lower end of team-ups, but, hey, it is a thing if you want to do it. Now, let's get into a second team-up, which is going to be called Gamma Boost. And with this, Hulk charges Doctor Strange and Iron Man with Gamma Radiation. When Doctor Strange uses Maelstrom of Madness, he unleashes Gamma Maelstrom. When Iron Man uses Armor Overdrive, he will initiate a Gamma upgrade, man. And for the team-up bonus for Hulk, Hero Hulk and Monster Hulk gain 150 max health, man. Now, this team-up here is probably the best in the game, as it affects multiple characters that can be used, and when you put them together on a comp, they actually work very well together. This turns Iron Man into a mid character to a very good character, as the Gamma Radiation added to his attacks are very, very good. It also allows Doctor Strange to not have anti-heal and allows his burst to have more damage. So this is one of the better team-ups in the game, if not one of the best in the game, which is why you constantly see Hulk being banned in the higher gameplays, man, because most people are not trying to deal with this. So again, it is the better of the two, and if you are going to play around his team-ups, this is the one you definitely need to play around, man, right here. So ultimately, man, Hulk is one of those dive tanks that can be a menace to your team and be an anchor to a great team-up of a team composition. Now, when it comes to playing dive, me personally, I'm more of a Captain America dive tank. I like the way he moves in comparison, but when it comes to Hulk, you just need to be able to understand how to use his abilities correctly so that you aren't getting melted every time you try to dive. You do not have the best shields, in my opinion, as far as like walking backwards like Strange and Cap can walk backwards. You're going to want to try to get in and get out very, very quickly. You're going to want to target somebody specifically, jump in on that person, and then come out of there. You're going to want to make sure that you're hiding in certain places so they don't know where you're kind of coming from. This way that you can kind of sneak up on people as easy as possible. But over and all, Hulk is a very good player, especially in the right hands. And with these team-ups he has, this is why he's definitely banned, bro. But as far as I go with him, I'm not very good with him. But I have seen Hulks play him, and this is essentially what they do. So again, when you're playing him, make sure you're watching over your cooldowns, especially when you're trying to enter a fight. This way you're not getting melted as you're trying to exit, or you're not getting melted as soon as you're trying to get in there. And make sure you're taking advantage of these team-ups, baby. But this has been another one of character breakdowns, and I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. But as always, please like, comment, subscribe, follow, share, become a supporter, and catch me streaming on Facebook Gaming and Twitch at Dat Boy ETV. Now, catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.